Hey, Paul Akers here. I want to show you how to use Fastedge, specifically unfinished wood. Now I'm going to do a super fast demo and show you every trick and technique that I personally use to make this product work perfectly every time. So here we go. I had a customer call in, he had a problem with his Fastedge cupping. A couple things maybe that weren't done right, maybe a huge humidity change that could have caused the wood to actually warp, maybe not enough pressure with the roller, I'm not sure, but I actually had him send me his exact material and the wood that he was putting it on to demonstrate this, to just show the correct technique. Now we were able to solve this problem by simply taking a hot iron with a rag in between the hot iron, going over the material, it relaxed the wood, re-emulsified the adhesive, made it go back in, he trimmed it off, it's all perfect, the job came out great. But you should never even have to do that. It should come out perfect every time, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I put on one edge here already, and I want you to look at this edge before I go any further. I want you to see how perfect it is, how the edge is perfectly rolled. Everything about this edge is dead on the money. So this is how you do it. I'm going to take my board, I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to do this edge now. So I'm going to take my Fastedge right here, peel off my liner on the back side, leave it a little while like that, and I'll show you why, because then we won't waste any material. I'll put it on just a little bit proud, a little bit long so I can clip it off. Make sure it's centered with my fingers evenly on both sides is what I want to do there. A light roll before I cut. Do not roll the edge over there because you'll break the edge and it won't come out nice. Then take your clippers with your finger just like this. You want this surface to be flat against the wood. I'll demonstrate on the other side in just a minute. And then slight angle, boom, clip it, it's perfect. So now I take this piece and I put it right there on my workbench. It's ready to go to the next one. Then I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to actually pick that up because I noticed I'm off just a little bit on that. There we go. But that's a nice thing is you can pick it up. Then I'm going to take this, see how my finger is square on there, and then a slight cant, very slight, clip it off, and I've got a perfect job every time. Now the next step is to roll it. Now when I'm rolling it, I'm using the steel wheels and not the rubber wheels because it gets more PSI, a little stronger. So I'm going to roll it flat like this, really strong, and then I'm going to tilt the roller a little bit like this, and I'm rolling the edges really, really hard. And I do that because the edge is the most important point. You want to seal that off from any finish getting in there. So if you roll it really hard and concentrate the pressure there, you're going to get a much better job. So there you go, I've rolled it. Now I'm going to take my quad trimmer. You can trim it both sides at one time. When I'm doing real wood, I prefer to take it apart, look at the grain, and find the grain direction and go with the grain. So I take it just like this, start back, I go slow, I don't go really fast, I feel the edge, oh, it needs a little bit more, I didn't quite get it. I'm going to do it again, oh, I'm getting really good there, boom, feels really good. Now I'm going to come on the other side, the grain's running this direction, so I'm going to come this way this time. Okay, just make sure I like what I feel. No, I think it could be a little more, I'm going to go back this direction. I'm just going to play with it till I get the result that I'm looking for. There you go. I tilted it just a little bit and I feel like I got a good trim job there. Okay, so I got a nice trim job there. Now the next step is to take the fast break. You take the fast break, and again, this is applying a lot of pressure on this edge. It's rolling the edge, applying pressure, kind of sealing it off. Do not use a router. A router will lift up the edge banding and pack things underneath it. This will not. So just like that, and look at that, I've done a perfect job. I can feel it, I can see it. It looks awesome. Now I've got a nice joint all the way around. So then I'm going to take my speed roller one more time, do a little more rolling. It's absolutely on there. Hit that like that, and I've got a perfect job. Now on this corner right here, just my 220 sandpaper, roll the edge just like that. Now I've got nothing that can get caught or anything, and I'm ready for finish. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that same thing on every edge. Now, when it comes to finishing, wipe everything off, get a nice tack cloth. If you want to blow it off with an air hose, you can do that as well, right? And now when you apply your stain, I'm going to do a stained one and one with no stain. I'm going to take the stain, and I do not want to get it super wet, just a little bit of stain. Now watch how this goes on. I'm not saturating it because if I do, this is a thin piece of wood. That stain, the solvents in there will go right through the wood and attack the adhesive, and you're going to have a problem. So you see, I did not put that on very heavy at all, right? So just put that on just like that. Wipe off any excess. There's no puddling whatsoever. There you go. And for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna apply a little heat so it dries really fast so you can kind of see a sped up version of finishing. Okay, you see I got that on there. I didn't get it too wet. I got nice coloration. Everything looks great. And not, in this case, not too much heat because you can lift the edge banding, but just enough to get the VOCs to lift off of it. Then I'm going to take a little bit of lacquer, okay, a little bit of shading lacquer in this case. I can use straight lacquer, no shading if I don't want to. A light coat, that's it. Because what you want to do is you want to seal this off first before you put on a heavy coat so that the solvents do not go through the material and attack the adhesive. So it's always a light fog coat, never very heavy at all. I'm putting a little heat on there just to accelerate this just so you can see the process. Okay, so now that's all dry already. I got it really nice. Feeling it, it all feels good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of steel wool in between coats and that will polish it up really, really nice, right? You can just see how nice that's looking already. Everything looks perfect. Little dust off just for this. Now I'm going to apply another coat, again, fog coat, not very heavy, just enough to seal it off. I want 2 fog coats in between a heavy coat. What I'm doing is sealing off the wood so that the solvents can't go through and attack the adhesive. If you do this every time, you'll never have a problem. If you don't do this, you will have a problem. So there you go, it's all dry again. Rapid fire. And again, I'm going to do my steel wool right in between. Just buff that out, polish it out, just like that. Okay, I found the grain direction. It's definitely going this way. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little wipe off there. Take my shading lacquer one more time. This time, heavy coat, no problem. You can build it up all you want, right? Because now you've sealed off the wood and it's not an issue. Okay, so that's dry. Now I'm going to come back over that again, just lightly buff it out. And if I want one more coat on there, I can do that. You can see I rubbed through my varnishing lacquer there just a little bit, so I probably shouldn't have done that quite as hard on my buffing. There you go. I'll just apply it a little heavier on the edge there. So now you can put on some heavy coats, there's no problem. Then we'll just let that sit and we're done. So what we've done is we've sealed off the edges very effectively. We've actually created a lacquer barrier that's attaching the wood veneer to the side, as well as done a great transition with the fast break tool. Everything about this job was done correctly, except for my bumping through the lacquer just a little bit there at the end. But other than that, it's that simple to use Fastedge, and you can do it very easily if you understand the techniques. That's all there is to it. Hopefully that helped.